Oh. Hi. What are you doing here? No, you didn't wake me. I was just... never mind. I was awake anyway. Is everything okay? Yes, of course you can come in. Please, have a seat if you want. Can I get you anything? I think I still have some water somewhere in here. What's going on? You couldn't sleep? Is there any particular reason why? You're scared. Oh. You're worried about the expedition tomorrow. No, I certainly don't think that's silly. Hell, after everything we've gone through, I'd be worried if you weren't scared. No, I don't mean to say that I expect you personally to be scared. It's just what we're supposed to do tomorrow. It's pretty intimidating. And after everything we've all gone through, seeing our comrades be torn apart and eaten right in front of us, and then finding out that Aaron has the power that he possesses, and almost losing him because of it. That is certainly a lot for anyone to go through, and then to be expected to essentially do it all again so soon after our first losses. It's a lot. I would be really worried about you if you weren't scared. Yes, I'm scared too. Terrified, actually. I only survived Trust because of Aaron, and then I almost lost him because of it. And now, honestly, I don't know if I'll come back by the end of the day tomorrow. Of course, I'm scared. How do I cope with it? I don't, honestly. I just try not to think about it. That helps. Most times. Unless, of course, I'm unable to sleep, in which case I can only not think about it as long as I stay awake and distract myself, which, of course, isn't the best thing to do the night before something like this. How do I distract myself? I read, of course. That's the best distraction there is. At least, for me. What am I reading right now? Oh, well, I won't be reading it for much longer. I'm almost finished with the story, but it's about a knight, and he's friends with this sorceress who's in love with him. Only every time she tries to tell him this with a romantic gesture, he doesn't notice. In fact, he turns her away several times purely because he thinks that she's just joking and trying to tease him, which she isn't. She genuinely loves him, and he thinks that she's just mocking him. And after he turns her away a bit too harshly, her magic, it starts to change. It starts to speak to her, and it tells her to hurt him just as much as he hurt her. Yeah, I guess it is a bit dark for a distraction, but it's nice to think about the fictional tragedies rather than the real ones that we have faced and that we might face in the future. It doesn't work for everyone, don't get me wrong, but it does work for me. And honestly, it's something I'm very grateful for, especially right now. You want me to read it to you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Do you want me to start from the beginning, or where I've already left off is fine? Alright then. Do you want to lie down? Just in case you fall asleep? Oh, don't worry about me. Honestly, I probably won't get much sleep tonight anyway. I'll just stay up reading another book. Don't worry about me. Just focus on resting yourself, okay? Now then, which page was I on? Okay, here we are. Comfortable? All right. And the spirits did appear to him that night, as they always did. Amid the sea of frigidity and shapeless sorrow, he caught only a glimpse of the phantom's shifting faces. A man and his sons, two young boys who had foolishly ignored their mother's plea and rushed to aid their father. His blade had arced through the clash of battle so swiftly that he hadn't a moment to draw back and spare them. The older boy's forehead and the younger boy's jaw were stained crimson. Jessen's sympathy betrayed him, and he threw the curtains of his bedchamber window shut, uttering a prayer for the spirits to be snuffed out like flames under the thick cover of shadows. But their wails continued to fill the tomb-like chamber. Reaching the end of his patience, Jessen collapsed upon his knees and wept. "Cease this! Cease this torment upon my soul, I beg of you," he cried, a tremor in his voice causing it to splinter and crack. The spirits fell silent, but remained watchful, and he knew by the room's deepening chill that his torturer was waiting for his next words. He lifted his head with some difficulty and turned ruefully to the corner at his bedside. "I know you now. I have known power like yours only once. Come forward, Sonia, and look upon the man who will offer his life for some semblance of peace." So she did. Swathed in shadow, silver hair glinting under the spirit's dim glow. Her fingers were warm, and Jessen leaned closer to them as they grazed his cheek. Sonia drew back without hesitation. Fools beg for what kings relinquish at a moment's notice. You shall not again know peace until the heart in my chest has fallen silent." Her voice was firm, but her legs quivered as she strode back to the pocket of gloom whence she emerged. Jessin wavered, then stood. His blindly grasping hand found purchase around her wrist, and he dragged her back from the murk. Fools may beg and kings may hold their tongues, but cowards flee from the blood of battle, he spat. Sonia turned the darkness of her gaze to meet his. She struck him across his face, the harsh sting stunning him to silence. She grabbed the collar of his nightshirt, pulling him close, and hissed, "I pity the man who knows not of his worth, but I damn the man who yearns for love and turns from it when it is offered." "And this is your ghastly idea of love?" Jessin's voice was little more than a whisper, but his tone carried the weight of his words with ease. "Everything magical and fantastic in this world confounds me, but I am certain that this is no expression of love." "Indeed it is not," Sonia agreed coldly. She shoved Jessin back and glared at him. "You forfeited your right to any expression of love from me, yet you still hold a place in my heart. Until I can tear out that rotting piece of muscle, you shall know the pain that I have felt since you turned your back on me." Sonia thrust out her arms and the curtains flew open. Agony filled Jessin's chest as the forgotten spirits lifted their voices in a horrendous chorus of misery once again. He screamed and clapped his hands over his ears, but the sound reverberated within his skull. He was powerless against it. His eyes, squeezed shut at the first note of a painful symphony, opened and grew wide as they fell upon Sonia. Bared forearms revealed veins and muscle tissue charred gray as she wielded her power against him. Her flesh was that of a ghost. Its color had been drained and it was as thin as silk. Beneath this diminishing membrane, Jessin saw her heart and sobbed again. Though its rhythm was unchanged, something dark and twisted writhed within its dull red tissue. The thing's shadow tendrils reached through Sonia's body and clawed at every remaining scrap of energy she had. When it seemed dissatisfied, it lapped up the tears flowing from the corners of her eyes. Jessin steeled himself and approached Sonia with a familiar gentleness in his gaze. He held her face tenderly in his hands, feeling the thing beneath her skin wriggle in confusion. "I am a fool," he admitted. "But I loved you then. I love you now too, and I can't allow you to suffer while this thing leeches off of your pain." "Love me," Sonia pleaded weakly. "Please, love me." "I do." Jessin captured her lips in a delicate kiss, pulling her into his embrace with ease. She pressed her hands to his shoulders and returned the gesture. She could feel his heartbeat as she kissed back. Bliss gave Jessin strength as he seized his dagger and plunged it into Sonia's heart without sparing a moment to rethink his actions. Still, he did not withdraw from her until she made it known that she needed him to. Darkness bled from her eyes. They stayed briefly in place to study Jessin's anguish, but soon rolled back in their sockets, empty and white. Jessin held her until she was still enough to be carried and laid upon his bed. He kissed her once more, and her lips were cold with death. "Oh, you really fell asleep to that?" I don't want that story to become reality. I really don't. I was going to tell you, but then you came and I shouldn't tell you. Not when so much is at stake tomorrow. I shouldn't distract you. But so long as we both make it out of this alive, I'll tell you. I will tell you. Every day if you want me to. Just how much I love you.